Good afternoon to you. My name is Ryan Johnson, and I'm bringing to you some tips and tricks to get the most out of your network marketing business. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Pareto principle and Parkinson's law and how they apply to your business. The Pareto principle is commonly known as the 80-20 rule, which says that 80% of your results stem from 20% of your effort. And you might have heard this applied several different ways, that 20% of the people in the world make 80% of the income, or in church it also applies that 80% of the tithes come in from 20% of the people. So how this applies to your business is that as a network marketer, you're constantly running around all day performing all sorts of activities, and the more you stay busy, the more productive you feel. Now, the 80-20 rule says that you're actually getting about 80% of your results from 20% of your effort. Now, what you want to do is find out which 20% of your efforts give you 80% of your results. And whenever you find out what 20% of your efforts produce 20% of your results, you want to take that and duplicate it, because the other 80% of your efforts are producing only 20% of your results, and that is not effective. So the other rule that we're going to talk about is Parkinson's law, which says that the longer amount of time that you're given to do something, the longer the deadline's extended out, the more complicated you make the project in your mind. If I were to ask you to write an essay on quantum theory and it was due within a month, you might overcomplicate it and not come up with anything. But if I asked you to provide with me an essay on quantum theory and it was due within 24 hours, you'd grind it out. It may not be the prettiest, but it would be basic and you'd get it done. It's a lot more effective than if you overcomplicated things and put them out. So let's combine those two principles, the 80-20% rule and Parkinson's law. What you're going to do is you're going to say, what 20% of my efforts give me 80% of the results, and then practice those efforts every single day. And then give yourself a deadline. How this applies to me is, since I'm a blogger and a lifestyle enthusiast, I want to figure out which 20% give me 80% of the results. And as a matter of fact, that's blogging. So if I'm only doing blogging and I'm not doing all this other spamming groups, it might be a little bit slow to take off, but that 20% is going to give me 80% of my results. So I'm going to leave you with that. Figure out what 20% of your efforts are giving you 80% of the results, and then set short deadlines where you'll say that I've done this in 24 hours, or I've done that in 24 hours. Give yourself short goals to do.